take a moment, take a deep breath in with me right now. Just like a little experiment. Breathe in, breathe out. Do you notice that there's a tenseness in your jaw? You know, like gravity just kind of take over. Do you feel a tenseness in your jaw? It was just there and you didn't realize it? If you move your shoulders around a little bit, do you feel a tightness in your shoulders that wasn't there? Take a moment, notice gravity. Do you feel gravity? Can you feel the weight of your body either on your feet if you're standing up or in a chair if you're sitting down? Also, take 1 second, be aware and appreciate the temperature of the air on your skin. Is it cool and refreshing, or do you notice a hotter sensation? That's the idea of today's video. What's up? Madison, Real Social Dynamics. And today's video is all about bioenergetics, okay? I'm taking incredible footage from my Madison bootcamp at home, in-field footage, client footage. I'm gonna show you a whole bunch of exercises. I'm gonna break it down for you. Now, bioenergetics is it's like a school of thought. You might have heard it recently. It was popularized by Elliot Hulse, and it's the idea that your body holds trauma. It holds every single trauma. Your body never forgets, and your body always keeps score. It always remembers what's happened to you. And even if you might try to feel good and positive, your body might become a barrier for you trying to get to those good feelings. So when you try to think your way into a positive state or think your way into feeling good, you can't do it because your body won't let you. It's held up as tightness. They call it muscle armor in your shoulders, your neck, your jaw, everywhere. And it just stops you from feeling the way you want to feel and doing what you want to do. So your body is always in control. And if you use your body properly, you can change your state, your emotions, your beliefs, your thoughts, your happiness, etc. right away. So I'm gonna show you today's video. Some incredible stuff. It's from inside the Madison bootcamp at home. Some of the best work I've done in a really long time. And I hope you're gonna enjoy it. I'm signing off for a moment from Montreal at the Boda Spa, but I'll see you guys at the end of the video again, and we'll talk more about it, and you'll learn how you can have bioenergetics be a part of your life. I'm gonna talk to you today, first of all, about bioenergetics, and then I'm gonna go through exercises for the actual transformational part of the program. What I'll say is this. First off, I'll say this. Who you think you are is not who you actually think you are. You have no idea who you think you are. Who you are up until now has just been a product of your environment and your nurture. But that's actually not who you are. If you lived a different life, you grew up in a different country, a different time zone, a different period in history, you grew up around a different family, different friends, you would think you were somebody completely different than who you are right now. But you're not this person. You're just a product of your environment and your nurture up until now. And you believe that story. You think that's who you are, but it's not who you are. You're way more than that. You're actually, so much potential is locked in there. So much potential is underneath the surface. You're so money, you have no idea how money you actually are. So my hope today is to remind you through a little bit more about who you actually are, to remind you about what you've forgotten about yourself, to remind you that you already know how to express yourself. It's kind of similar to the way that you were a child, and when you were a child, you wanted to be an astronaut, and then somebody told you, great, Jimmy, or whatever your name is, Jimmy. Great, Mark, Sam, Peter, right? Great, Chris, congratulations. You can do it, you can be an astronaut. Then you believed it until you're 5, believed it until you're 7, then you hit 10. You believed up until maybe grade 6. Then grade 7 hit, and you went to high school, and you were like, oh man, maybe not, because you have to deal with social pressure and people liking you, being bullied and all that. And you started to believe this other story, that you were whoever the bullies told you that you were. That's who you were. And they sold a good story, man, and you fucking believed it. You're like, maybe I shouldn't have girls, maybe I shouldn't be popular, maybe I shouldn't be captain of the football team, the basketball team, etc. That belief sunk in your head, and now you think that's who you are, but it's not who you are at all. It's not even close to being that. You're so much more than that, but you've forgotten. And then that dream of being the astronaut kind of went away. It disappeared. And you believe that that's all there was. So my job as an RSD instructor is to remind you kind of like about who you've always been, to bring that back to the forefront. Because you're so money, as I say in the movie Swingers, you're so money, you have no idea, okay? There's a war going on right now. And that war that's going on is for your mind. It's the war between you and the outside world. And you're constantly fighting for your mind. And you're constantly fighting against the world for it. You're trying to reclaim what's naturally yours, as your fucking birthright as a human being. And in a lot of ways, it's been taken from you. And because it's been taken from you, you think you don't deserve it, but you absolutely deserve it. It's your birthright. Same way you deserve to stand here with your 2 feet. You deserve to stand here and breathe in air. It's the same way you also deserve to be in a club and take up space. Sometimes we'll be in a club and people knock us over and we think we don't deserve it, but we actually do, man. We fucking deserve it as much as anybody else, whether they have bottle service or not. The VIP rope doesn't determine you're allowed to be on this earth. Your dad's sperm fighting through all the other sperm and fighting to get the egg determined you being on this earth. The people that your ancestors that died for you to even be here today, you know, remembering the face of your forefathers, that's what allowed you to be here today, take up the space on this earth. So you deserve it as much as anybody else, even if you feel like sometimes you don't. So I want to remind you guys of that. Now, today we're going to use the power of everybody here in the group to imitate social pressure. We're going to use everybody working together to kind of build up that pressure on yourself. Now, the same way you have weight pressure, right? Like when you go to the gym, there's pressure of the weight, and that makes you stronger once you lift it. You'll have social pressure, and that social pressure, once you lift it, also makes you stronger in the very same way. When you handle it here, you can go out and handle this in the world. I'm also gonna go over bioenergetics today, which is gonna teach you an amazing skill of how to manage your own emotions. This is something I talk about a lot on boot camps. I'm like, dude, you need to take accountability. You need to manage your own emotions. You need to change your own thoughts. And the guy goes, how? But how, Madison? How? How? I'm like, fuck it, come to the hot seat. Or I get that boot camp at home. I can show you in like an extent of detail what it's like. And I'm happy that you guys are gonna get to experience that. I've shared it with some small groups of people, and the people that I've shared it with, I've seen instant changes, instant changes, instant changes. Change is gonna be painful. It's gonna be a little bit painful. You have to jump into the unknown. You have to jump into what you're not even sure is gonna happen. It's like, here's who you are. Right over here is who you've always been. It's who you're comfortable being. It's what you've always known. And I'm gonna ask you to go that direction, in the dark. Just walking in the dark with your hands. You don't know if there's a light switch here. You don't know if there's a garbage can you're gonna trip over. You don't know if there's a flight of stairs. You don't know what's next. But I'm gonna ask you to do this because that's how you're gonna grow. And I'm gonna be your guide, and I'm gonna walk you through that. I'm gonna walk you through those feelings of uncertainty. But when you come up to them, I encourage you to experience them fully. Jump into them fully. Embrace it fully. Jump into the weirdness, the awkwardness. Always be the guy in the group that's doing exercise and is like fully giving 100% to it. Don't be the guy who's like, I guess we'll do this. This is great for everybody else. I don't need this, but for everybody else, I mean, I'm happy these guys are getting it. They fucking need it, these guys. You know what I mean? Don't be that dude. Don't be that dude. Do it for yourself. Do it completely for yourself. Because you're never gonna find a support group like this. You're never gonna find a group of guys that are working on this. You're not gonna be able to go to outside these rooms or these walls and have people encourage you to do it. Now you're in a free area to completely grow and expand. I'm gonna teach you today how to also talk and talk and talk forever. I'm gonna teach you today how to never run out of things to say. I'm gonna teach you today how to express emotion in what you're doing. I'm gonna teach you today how to let your body be in charge rather than your mind be in charge. So you're no longer the slave of your mind. I'm gonna teach you how to do that today so you're not the slave of your mind. I'm gonna teach you today how to free associate. I'm gonna teach you today how to always control your emotions and being in charge of how you're feeling on a moment-to-moment basis, which is incredible. That's life-changing, the ability to do that. I'm gonna teach you today how to use all the tools and faculties that you were given. And again, change is a little bit challenging, right? It's like that butterfly, or sorry, the caterpillar. When a caterpillar goes into the cocoon to become a butterfly, it hurts because he goes into cocoon isolation for many months or many weeks or days, whatever it is, and then like the things pop out of his back. You know, the wings come out of, like, pierce his skin and go through the back. And that's what it's gonna take for you guys to become butterflies. It's gonna take a little bit of piercing of that skin. I also today wanna plant seeds in you for change. Hopefully we've done that through some of the videos we've seen today, but I also want to plant seeds in you that will continue to develop. Plant the seeds of change, plant new ideas, plant hope, plant freedom, plant all these seeds in you that eventually can grow as time goes on because you're going to continue to water them, okay? Those seeds will be there, and I'm going to encourage them to grow. This is what we call a catalyst for change. This means it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity where you can come up to this room and decide to change your life and steer it in a different direction. Today is the fork in the road. It's the day you can finally decide to get it handled and do something about it. When you leave, you're going to be empowered. You're going to be empowered. You know exactly what to do when you want to change how you feel and change where your mind's at. You're going to have the tools and the resources to do it. You're going to have the knowledge to do it. The only thing I can't give you is the willpower to do it. That's something you got to decide for yourself. How badly do you fucking want this? How much do you want to see that change? How badly do you want to make this happen? Because this is owed to you if you decide to do it. As we do these exercises, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at you like a doctor, okay? A good doctor is not a guy who's just a doctor who can write pills. A good doctor is not a guy who could just write prescriptions. Any fucking doctor could write prescriptions. A good doctor is a guy who makes a correct diagnosis. So my job is to make a good diagnosis of you while we're working together and doing these exercises, and then I can adjust you and tweak you all individually, kind of like how you crack a safe and you're like this. I make little tweaks, little tweaks, little tweaks, little tweaks, little tweaks, and as I'm making these changes, they're going to help you to kind of just unleash what's already in there. So that's my goal, to make the right diagnosis, right analysis, right prescription, right solution, and then give you a roadmap that you can continue using on the path of success. Cool? All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is bioenergetics. As I mentioned, it was popularized very recently by Elliot Hulse, but it's actually been around for quite a while. It was originally started by two doctors, and it was called, I think, Core Energetics was one of them, and the other guy went and pursued other passions. So they basically separated. The school split because people didn't agree. The two guys didn't agree on what they were teaching. They thought about it in different ways. So this is the first thing I want you to realize. Every sticking point you have right now in your game came from psycho and emotional survival strategies. So even when you can't talk loud, that came from a survival strategy. When you run out of things to say, that was a psychological survival strategy. When you walk up to a girl and you feel like the guy is gonna punch you, that you've never met before, and even though you've done nothing to offend him personally or threaten him physically, you believe he's gonna attack you due to a psycho and emotional survival strategy. So every sticking point is actually really good. They're all good. They're good things to have. They're amazing to have because they help you survive at one point. The problem is that they're outdated. They're expired like milk. They're expired software, and they need to be gone. But we're still carrying them around because they help us survive. There's some survival skills that are psycho and emotional strategies that you got rid of. For example, you don't suck on your mom's boobs anymore. That was a survival strategy that you had.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Hopefully. Welcome to the mom seat, guys. That's probably like a real thing too. So you had these strategies, but you got rid of them, like the sucking on the boobs. There's also, like, for example, you had you all have a belly button. If you were inside your mother's womb, the belly button was used to have your umbilical cord to give you food and nutrients. So it's a reminiscent of a survival strategy that you have, that little hole there. But now it's just a hole that's kind of like useless, that got covered up. But the marks of it are still there. So we have all these survival strategies in our life, and they were useful for a while. They were really good. And then now they're just old reminiscence of it, and they're just there for no reason anymore. So we have to realize that and not be mad about it. We recognize it in the body. You can see it in the body too. Every past trauma that you've had, every past emotional situation you've been through is still there with you. Like, the reason why it's so hard to like date a stripper or girl's been stripping is because every man that touched her gave her money, but they kind of still linger like the smell of every man that touched them for money. A little bit of their self-respect was gone. A little bit of their trauma still carries with them every single day. That's like guys who were in jail, right? Guys go to jail and they're like locked up, they're doing time. They get out, they're not like okay. After they get out, they still carry a little bit of them with it. It's like being in a war and having post-traumatic stress disorder after a war, being in the army, because you carry that with you. Same thing for our life. We have it in a lesser degree. I'll go to the next one, which is dragon breaths. All right? Who wants to help me out with that one? Who likes the sound of it? Everybody's scared now. All right. We'll do you. We'll do you. I like the shirt, so it'll be fun to this one. All right, give me a round of applause. All right. Come on this side. It's like some grounding claps. All right. So dragon breaths. Dragon breaths are kind of like an enhanced version of the bow. What a dragon breath is designed to do is designed to have you open up this area, expand it, be able to take a deep breath, loosen up the neck muscles, loosen up the face, and project. So my brother, his problem over there before was he couldn't project, right? We did the bow. He loosened up, this whole area got relaxed, but then he couldn't command it when he needed to, couldn't project it. So this is about relaxing and projecting. It's like when you're in the club, you're like, hey, I can't talk louder than the music. Everybody can talk louder than the music. You absolutely can. So I'll show you what it is. This is gonna look funny, it's gonna be weird. And it's gonna be also, what's gonna happen in this exercise when we do it, it's gonna be funny because this. Your mind is gonna tell you don't look stupid when you do this. By the way, big time. This is gonna look fucking ridiculous, okay? Your mind is gonna say, don't do this, you look like an idiot, it's ridiculous. Don't do this, like go 55% of the way, go 90% of the way, but don't 100% it. Now the good thing about it is if you do this, you'll be more comfortable afterwards because you would have went to the edge and you realize that nothing bad happened to you, it's just an exercise. And then you're gonna say, I wasn't embarrassed, and you're gonna feel more at ease in your own skin. It's meant to be ridiculous, okay? All right, it's like, all right. So take off your pants. Just kidding. All right. So this is the dragon breath. Okay. You take your weight. I'm gonna just demonstrate it for you. Take your weight, put on your back foot, and then you're gonna come forward. It's like a grounding on your foot. You come forward, and as you do that, it's like you take your hands. It's like you're opening them up like dragon wings, almost like you're opening also 2 refrigerator doors all the way back. See? Or you ever do like chest flies at the gym? It's like that. All the way back, okay? And as you do it also, your fingers open up completely, so you're open, completely open. Solar plexus, thoracic, everything completely open, it's a big stretch. Now, when you get to the end of it, this part, you do a big ah, but loud, mouth open, tongue out, so like ah, eyes open. And you do it loud, and it feels weird, but you're gonna feel this whole relaxation part happen in the middle, and you have that ability to project at the same time, okay? It's called the dragon breath. It's gonna be really weird, it's gonna be fun, be engaging, and it'll be good for you guys, all right? We'll do it on 3, right? You just keep doing a bunch of them over and over again, do for about 30 seconds or so, okay? Ready? So I'll do it first, I'll show you what it looks like, okay? So I'm like, don't do it, don't do it, pressure, okay? Ah! 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 You see, it has to be no holding back. That's why we did vulnerability first, by the way, right? It's got to be no holding back. It's got to be completely free, all right? Give it a try. Ready? We'll all do it together. Any speed you're ready with. Do it for about 30 seconds or so, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ah! 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 Extend, extend. Ah! Ah! Good, good. You know what it's like? Did you ever see those guys that do the march? The rugby. What's their name?
Oh, Crab Zimbabwe, right?
Yes. What's the name of them?
Haka.
Haka. The haka. You guys ever saw the haka?
Yeah.
It's amazing. I look at it. Maybe I can just pull it really quick. It's going right now. I'll show you the haka. I'll upload it on my phone. This thing is amazing, and everybody goes crazy for it. And they're like, why is it so incredible? Why are these guys doing this dancing? Why is it even sexy? It's because they're fully expressing. You ever had an orgasm before?
No.
No? Okay. You ever had an orgasm with a girl? It makes no sense. Ah, 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 ah. Right? It's like, it's a complete release. When's the last time you saw somebody complete a release? When's the last time you saw somebody allow themselves to complete a release? Right? It's an attractive thing. It's like breakdancing. When the breakdancer finally makes the move, and he goes, bam, and he goes, oh, because we all want to do that. We all want to be able to completely release with no judgment. We want to be able to release with no judgment. We want to be able to release open. We want to be able to project. It's a combination of all the things I've been teaching you so far, kind of like condensed into a move. Yeah, so there's the guy who's expressing strength, ridiculous face, so he's being vulnerable, full intent, complete intent, at ease with himself, right? It's got all the layers, all the layers, all the layers, all the layers. What would a good king be, like historically? Good king versus bad king. If you read the books like King, Warrior, Magician, Lover, okay, great book you should read. It talks about the 4 archetypes within a man. Shadow King is a guy who has strength and he's a tyrant. Steals from people, increases taxes, doesn't take care of them, right? Just pure strength, abuse of power. That's a dictator. But on the flip side, what's a good king? Good king has vulnerability, right? Because he cares about the people. He wants to take care of others. He respects the past and the other ancestors. He's got all that going on. He's got a combination of the strength and the vulnerability, right? So that you saw those guys in those videos, those guys are fucking alpha as fuck, but they had that combination of strength and vulnerability. So when you're doing these dragonflies, it's like the harmony of the two, right? And you just got a very, very clear intent because you're like, ha! It's like a half-assed intent. Nothing sexy about that. Nothing sexy about letting loose like that. Again, if you and a girl having an orgasm and you don't hold back, well, to everybody's benefit, right? So that is dragonflies. We carry this stress around with us in our body as knots. I call them emotional knots, okay? So these emotional knots are with us wherever we go. When you're about to do that approach, emotional knot is there. When you're about to go for the makeout, I don't know if I could, emotional knot is there. When you're about to ask a girl out on a date who you really like, but you remember the last girl you asked out took advantage of you, so you don't want to do it again. You're like, fuck, should I do this? And you hesitate. That's an emotional knot. And all these emotional knots need to be massaged or worked out. Okay, they need to be like literally like how you massage out a knot in your body. You go to masseuse, you have a hamstring pull because you've been running a lot. You go to masseuse massages it out. Here I'm trying to massage the knots out for you as well. Now, if you have a fucking deep knot, it's like 10 years of fucking this one pressure point, that might take a while to massage out, but at least we can get like the tissue around it loosened up today. The tissue, the emotional knot loosened up today a little bit at least. Conversions are delivered from trauma and linked to negative mannerisms. So we have all these mannerisms that we develop from these emotional knots. So for example, I see a guy in boot camp, he does this. It's a way of dealing with the stress, the emotional knot, right? Sometimes I see a guy in boot camp, he does. I can't do this. Can't do this. It's the way to deal with the emotional knot. His body reacts, right? Anytime I see the guy's body react, I know he has an emotional knot. I'm watching his physiology to see how his physiology reacts. I think that you can't work your way through it in your mind. I think it's too much. The mind is a fucking battlefield of conscious thoughts, unconscious thoughts, fucking complicated. But you can work your way through it in your body at least. That's a good start. So, some strategies are confronting it. That's a strategy. One strategy is like you think it through, you work it through, you talk it through, you reflect on what's happened in your memories. You put awareness on the relationship that your behaviors have through memories. That's a conscious thought thing. First time when you do that, you're going to be resisting to it, have resistance. You're not going to want to do it, and it's hard to go neutral. That's the expression that they use. I say, be clear or to erase. We can also say go neutral. To go neutral is where you're not like either aggressive or you're scared. You feel nothing towards this area. When I'm with a girl that's really attractive and I see her and I want to walk up to her, talk to her, I feel neutral. I've gone neutral. I'm not for or against, I'm not scared or overly excited. I'm just kind of neutral to it. So to go neutral, you have to have no traumatic experiences going on in your mind and release that what's in your body. What I was just describing to you, how you store it in your body, that's called muscle armor. Muscle armor, okay? Muscle armor. Your body literally takes on the positioning of your stress. So it's like, for example, sometimes on boot camp, the guy who's really tense, he looks like, guess how he looks like? How's his body? Like this, yeah. Shoulders shrug, tight neck here. His ears are turning a little red, right? He's just boiling, he's stressed. The guy who has strong work ethic, he has too much work ethic. He's not connecting with the girls in front of him. He looks like this, right? Fucking like I said, like a bull. He's like sharking at it all the time. The guy who is overly the entertainer guy, he's very, very loose and playful because he's trying to deal with his emotions in his body, right? We store it up as muscle armor, muscle tension. It could be a tick, it could be a fidget, it could be a scratch, it could be a picking. That's called muscle armor. And our body remembers the history of everything that we've kind of been through. Now, not like literally, not like the body is the way to the soul. Not like, I don't take it as deep as some people, but I do think that our body tells our mind how to act, and our mind tells our body how to act. We know that they relate. We know it for a fact. How do we know this? If you're in the hospital, they say you watch comedies, it raises your immune system, increases white blood cells, helps you to heal faster. How do we know this? Well, for me personally, when I was 16, 17, I was so stressed out from bullies. I used to like walk around with like a knife in school and shit like that. I got kicked out of 5 different schools, and I had an ulcer. I developed a stomach ulcer from stress. You can get that. If you have stress, you can develop, like literally your intestine starts to develop an ulcer and you get sick and you're like bleeding or throwing up and you have stomach cramps. We know that your mind affects your body, absolutely, 100%. We know that you can actually even rewire your brain from meditation. We've seen monks do it. They study monks and see how they're able to access happiness or calm states or serotonin levels in the brain or endorphins and boost those, dopamine, etc. And they see that monks are able to do it. People who meditate a lot are able to do it. I'm able to do it in the club because I'm used to that kind of just zoning in on that part of my brain. So we know that mind and body connection are there without a doubt. Now, some ways we try to deal with it, or one way is we try to contain it, right? So containing is like this, right? It's a contain it, it's a contain, it's a contained. So when the guy's nervous, I tell him to go do an approach, he goes, it's a contain, he's containing it. Sometimes he literally can't move, he's just zoned out, it's containing, all right? So that's not good either. So sometimes we'll ask people to refrain from containing movements. So sometimes we'll either like, let's say you have a tapping motion, we'll ask you to stop tapping or ask you to do something else. Some people, when they have a lot of rage when they were younger, they put it in, they suppress it. So they have suppressed rage, they contain it that way. Sometimes they go docile, they just go limp. Like if your parents or your family was like, fuck you, you're just a little kid, you just kind of like fade into the background. You can have a docile way of dealing with stuff. It can also be in your face muscles. Like a lot of times on boot camp, we'll see a guy that's like just stressed the fuck out and his jaw is just clenched like this, like as soon as his face. I'm just like, hey man, it's really easy, just go like this. Oh, hey, what's up? When I talk to a girl, it's literally like opening a refrigerator door. I turn, I open the door, there's something in the refrigerator, there's not. I don't freak out what it means about me. It's in the fridge, it's not. Close it. Talking to a girl is literally as easy as opening a refrigerator door. But then you have all this other stuff going on in your brain that tells you you're not good enough. A lot of it's social pressure too, by the way. Social pressure is that what society tells you. You're not good enough, you don't fit in, you don't have the cool clothes, you're not as handsome as the guys that are in this club. If you were more successful and had bought the service, you belong here. It's ridiculous. It goes on and on and on and on and on, all this social pressure stuff. It just constantly tells you don't fit in. And you're constantly trying to fight that social pressure. And as you try to fight it, you just try to fight it with your body. Or alcohol. What does alcohol do? It's a physical signal.
To release it.
Yeah, exactly. It makes you kind of like loopy, physically releases your body, and your body's got the alcohol in its system, and then your brain finally relaxes. That's what alcohol is, it's triggering your brain. Every drug is your body first, by the way. Every drug triggers your body and then triggers your emotions after. It's like body, like it does something to your brain or to your physical composition, triggers your body, and then your brain follows. But we can choose to do it naturally without drugs if we want to. One of the ways that we can, first of all, just kind of get in control of our minds through meditation, of course, breathing, learning how to control our breath, just breathe. As Elliot Hulse would say, breathe into our balls. As the Bhagavad Gita would say, resistance is pain. How meditation people would say, surrender to the moment. how Eckhart Tolle would say, the power of now, you know, all these kind of historical ancient teachings teaching us to kind of be relaxed into the moment. And breathing is a great way to center ourselves. Breathing controls our body, controls the pacing, the rhythm, and therefore it affects our mind. And that works really well. Sometimes you can also do therapeutic sets, which are going up and embracing it. Walking up to a girl and talking to her, or a guy, not for the approach to go well or the result, but just for the therapy of it, through working out your emotional knot that you have, okay, to getting to go neutral. So you can go up and express it in your pickup. So you basically go up and you talk about the old you. So it's like, I used to be so nervous from talking to guys and girls together. I always get nervous with mixed sets. Like, what's a mixed set? Like, a guy and a girl together. What are you talking about, bro? Get in here. It's crazy, man. Have a drink with us. Right? Therapeutic sets. If you're afraid of girls that are tall-looking models, you can be like, hey, I'm really nervous of tall model-looking girls. Are you serious? Why are you so shy about us? I don't know, something about it. I just feel like I don't deserve to talk to people like that. Really? What? We're so nice. Right? Do some therapeutic sets. Work through it. There's no reason why pickup or talking to people has to be only about you getting something from them. Could it just be about you guys maybe enjoying the moment together? Maybe, sometimes. I don't know, it's possible. But you can literally work through your issues in game. You know, if you find yourself walking around the room, like, hey, I'm walking around the room constantly in circles. I'm so nervous to talk to anybody. I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself right now. And you'd be surprised what people would say. They probably empathize with you a little bit because you're being honest. And they could see, even as you're talking to them, they could see the body relax a little bit, okay? All right, so the exercise that we're gonna do is called the chair. And this is my favorite one. The chair is like what we say in RSD, we say it's the odyssey of the mind. Okay, you guys say that? Odyssey of the mind?
Odyssey of the mind.
Good. The chair is an odyssey of the mind. The idea of the chair is to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation and see what your mind does to you. See what kind of tricks your mind plays on you. The doubts that come up, the frustration that comes up, the wanting to be successful, the desire to have to win. All the kinds of thoughts that come up in your mind. You observe the thoughts that come up in your mind when you're in pain. And that's why it's an odyssey of the mind. It's kind of like a mind trip. At one point when you do this exercise, your body is going to give out on you. And then you have this choice to make. Your body's going to be fighting your mind. And either your body continues or it fails. But either way, your mind is going to have judgments about your performance. Your mind's going to go, I want myself to last. I'm not a quitter. I can do better than this. Or does your mind quit and go, you know what, you're going to fall eventually, so just give up, right? You get to watch the different phases that your mind goes through. So it's a lot, the benefit of this is like when you're out, club, environment, social place, your brain is going to do the same thing. You're going to have social pressure on you, and you're going to have an odyssey of the mind, where your mind goes through all these thoughts throughout the evening. Your mind starts to play games on you. And you're going to think that your mind is right. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Your mind's going to go all around. And at one part, you're going to be able to center your mind. And the other part, you're going to be able to watch what your mind is doing. Right? It's like you become the observer. It's kind of like, here's the forest, and then you go up, and 10,000 feet, you can see all the trees in the forest. You see what's happening all around you. And that's the benefit of this. This is probably my favorite exercise in a way that I learn a lot about myself when I do it. It's also my most unfavorite one because I don't like to do it. Because physically, it's hard, you get a little hot, it's not pretty. When you're doing it, you know, if you look, it's like the dragon breaths. When you're doing it, you can look stupid, so your brain goes, don't look stupid. So you don't want to be stupid, right? You're constantly going through these phases of ego, phases of want to be successful, phases of just give up, and you shift back and forth through all of them. And you see how fast your mind goes, click, 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 click. Ego, work hard, success. Ego, work hard, success. Ego, ego, vulnerable, ego. It'll happen in your mind from moment to moment when you're doing this, all right? So I'm going to do it right here with my buddy here, and I'm going to narrate some things that my mind are thinking. as I'm doing it, okay? So the way you do it is, I'll just show you how it's done first, and we'll do it together. The way you do it is you can go against the wall, and then when you're at the wall, you're gonna find a point where you get to a 90-degree angle. So we're not yet, but we're gonna go a little lower to a 90-degree angle. So our thighs are like this, and our legs are like that, and we're like literally gonna sit against the wall. And we're just gonna sit there and pause until our body just gives out on us, until we fall. Now, here's the thing. Your brain's gonna say to you, last longer. You're automatically gonna wanna last longer than whatever your time is. If your time's 30 seconds, you're gonna wish you last longer. If you're a minute, you're gonna wish you last longer. I did it last week. There was a guy that lasted like 4 minutes, and he wished he lasted longer. But you can only do as best as you can. You can't do better than you can do. That makes sense? Like, it's the same way with the game. You can't do better than you're actually doing. You can't go better than the level that you're at. You can't excel what your skill is. You just are where you are. And how comfortable are you gonna be being at the level that you're at? So it's a mind fuck. All right? So we're gonna go into the position, me and you, against the wall, right? Relax. Let's breathe through it. I'm just gonna narrate what I'm thinking as I'm doing this. All right. So right now I'm thinking, haven't done this in a while. We'll see how good I do. I'm comparing myself to last week. So that's comparison fatigue.
What did you get?
I don't remember. It was probably longer than I'm gonna get today. All right, so thinking about that, I just went down an inch. I'm like, okay, don't go down an inch so fast, harder, fight harder. I got a little bit of shaking, which is I didn't have last time. So again, the comparison fatigue. I have to be satisfied with whatever level I'm at. I heard him laugh or exasperate. Sounded like he was frustrated. It reminded me to not be frustrated myself. I feel myself slipping, but I feel like I want to save it. I'm slipping. There we go. So at the end there, I was like, ah, fuck. Right? I got frustrated. It's like, ah, fuck.
Take your time.
Is this to exhaustion?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
He's a master at number 2. Narrate.
Yeah, tell us what you're thinking as you're doing it.
I'm just remembering back whenever, no, there were certain things we did in my organization, and this is one of them, and I got really good at it at one point. You go through these mental processes where you just go into your body or focus on something else, and you kind of forget about it. And like once you go into your legs and actually feel it, not try to like not notice it, it feels good.
So he's thinking about leaning into the pain, right? Is that something you do a lot? You lean into the pain?
Yeah. It's I have like ADHD, so that's how I like become passionate to like whatever I need to be passionate towards.
Okay, cool. So,
Cool.
So it's funny, right? Like we learn a lot about him at the failure point. Like when he's about to fail, he mentioned like the ADHD and stuff, and that's how he stays focused and concentrates. He goes into it. Now I don't know what your first reaction was when you see this. When I first saw this, when I first understood this technology, it completely changed my mind. It made my life a whole lot better. She's incredible. She should ask me on a day. Call me. It made my life incredible, right? Because it totally changed the way I saw the world. Because I no longer had to just try to use my brain and my mind to get over every single issue and challenge I had and think my way through it, just muscle power my way through my brain. I was now able to use my body to influence my brain. So it changed my life. Now I had to go all over the world for these exercises, the 4 corners of the globe, to find these exercises. And it took me so long to collect them. Now you just saw 1 or 2 of them, but you're gonna see a whole bunch, the whole arsenal of exercises and tools inside of the Madison Bootcamp at Home. Okay, and that's my brand new program that is out right now. I'll put the link down below. you're gonna have the whole arsenal of bioenergetics you can use for every kind of situation, every kind of sticking point, every kind of archetype that you have. This is my complete course, my 10 years of experience in game, combined with the 100 institutional years of knowledge from all the other RSD instructors. I create a customized roadmap and pickup just for you. It's not a one-size-fits-all program. It's me specifically working towards your strengths and your weaknesses and making you the best that you can be, all right? And there's gonna be a whole bunch of bioenergetic exercises in the course, similar to ones that you've seen today, and even a whole bunch more. I become your personal 24/7 game mentor, and I work with you virtually like this. It's not just like videos that you watch or videos you play before you go out or after you come home. It's also live in-field video streaming with you and me, and you get to watch that while you're out in the field. I'm there with you, guiding you, mentoring you, okay? So that is out right now. Click the link down below if you want to check it out. It's my best program I've ever made in my life. It's my last dating program with RSD, and it means a lot to me, all right? So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy, and as always, keep in touch and don't be a stranger. Cheers. Let me tell you this right now. Make sure I have your attention. I want you to focus on what I'm saying here. Everything that you think is holding you back is not. You are held back by two things, and two things only. That is it. That is all. I want to make that very clear. Two things and two things only. One is your sticking points, and your other is your blind spots. Sticking points and blind spots. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, a sticking point is a barrier that you're aware of in your conscious mind. It's there and you know that it's there. It's a limiting belief or that doubt or that feeling that constantly comes up that you catch and you get it very quickly. It's that feeling of, hey, you know what? I'd love to talk to that girl in my office, but she's probably out of my league. But you know you had something in common, but you don't make the move. It's that girl who's at the bar and her back is turned to you. You know you should kind of get in front of her and make eye contact, but you don't because you feel kind of lazy to do it and you don't want to get that rejection. You're anticipating the rejection. You're imagining in your mind. Or maybe it could also be that phone number you get and you already know that you should just say, hey, have a good night. Let me know you get home safe. But you send her a long paragraph and you know it's a terrible move, but you do it anyways. You text her a long paragraph and you creep her out and she thinks you're needy. And you're like, damn it, I did it again, right? My sticking point strikes again. And you're like, shit, back to the drawing board. Now, blind spot is a little bit different. A blind spot is an automatic program that is running in your mind and you are not even aware of it. You are not even aware of its existence or even that it's there. It's kind of like trying to find a light switch in a room that's dark. You'd stumble around, fall on the couches, maybe trip on the cat, and you might not even ever find it. You might not even know it's there unless somebody else pointed it out to you. And once it's pointed out to you, it's very hard to accept because it's not how you see yourself. Blind spots are the invisible killer to your game and the invisible killer to your success and progress. And what I want to do is I want to go deep inside your mind and eliminate those blind spots that you have in your technique. Eliminate those blind spots that you have in your emotions and your expression. And I want to take it out and let you be who you're naturally meant to be. Because let me tell you, all that success that you've been thinking about is waiting right there for you on the other side if you just learn to erase. Here's what I want to do for you regarding your sticking points and your blind spots inside of the Madison Bootcamp at Home. As I mentioned, sticking points are that Achilles heel that's always cutting you down to size and undercutting everything that you do. I want to unstick you from that weight that's just holding you down and pulling you down so that your light can shine free and fly out. I also want to take your weaknesses and transform them into strengths. Imagine that, your weakness now becoming your superpower. And then, last but not least, regarding your sticking points, I want to give you the confidence and competence to move forward and handle anything that comes your way. With blind spots, expect nothing but the stellar. I'm going to take away that glass wall you constantly banging your head up against, that black and white vision that you experience, and introduce you to color and let you just blast through those things that are holding you down. You have
automatic habits inside of you that aren't serving you. I want to make you the master of those automatic habits. So you're just spiraling forward into success automatically without you even making much of an effort. And last but not least, you have triggers in your environment. I'm going to make you respond to the triggers correctly and give you that self-awareness and environmental awareness so you know what to do and how to do it perfectly every time. A boot camp is my most premier program, and RSD is legendary for it. I've been doing it for over 15 years. Myself, I've been in the game for 10 years, all right? And what I do is I come to your personal town, your city, and I take you out, and I make you my wingman, and I become your wingman, and I'm there to guide you by the hand, step by step, showing you every single thing that has to be done when it comes to interacting and attracting nothing but absolutely beautiful, stunning women. I take you under my wing and I raise you up to my level, and I inspire you, and I let you know what is possible, and I get you doing those things that you couldn't even imagine that you can do, but you only wished that you could do. And I'm also giving you real-time personalized feedback and coaching in your ear. I'm telling you what to do, what to say, why you're doing it, and I also demonstrate that for you as well, so you can see what it looks like when a pro does it. And I go and I tweak your mind, I tweak your behaviors, and I tweak your thoughts and your emotions to make you the best version that you can be. So a boot camp is our most premier program that we have in RSD, okay? And we've been teaching for damn near 15 years, and it's the gold standard of the pickup industry. Myself, I've been teaching these boot camps for a very long time as well, and I've been very serious about bringing my boot camps to everybody in the world, because maybe you're watching this right now, and you're saying to yourself, hey, I'd love to take a boot camp, but financially, I'm not in a position in my life where I can do this right now. I want to invest in myself, my future self, but I just don't have the resources of finance and money. Or maybe you're saying to yourself, hey, I would love to work with you, Madison. You seem like a great guy. You seem to know what you're talking about. But unfortunately, I just don't have the time. I can't take time off of work. I can't fly across the country to meet with you. And because of that, I want to make it available to everyone. So I really took some time and I thought about it introspectively. I said, all right, how do I take the same gold standard of coaching? Because I have absolutely high standards. I love coaching every single person that I teach. I love giving them my all. I love seeing a difference in their lives. I love making an impact and connecting with them. And I said to myself, how do I do that digitally? How do you connect people digitally? How do you change them? How do you inspire them to make a difference? How do you inspire them to be motivated? How do you inspire them to look at the parts of their life where they're stuck and really make a difference? How can I connect with you and inspire you and motivate you and move you from across the screen? And so for a while, I didn't do it. For a while, I hesitated. I put the idea on the back shelf of my mind. I said, hey, this is not the right time in my life to do this. But I would go up more and more and more, and I coach students in my live programs, and every single student that I coached, I started to recognize something. I recognized the patterns. I started to recognize that I could identify their patterns and their sticking points and their blind spots before we even went out. And then I realized that problems are universal. Challenges are universal. But the composition or the chemistry or the math is what's different. So I broke down the human algorithm, the human science, the human archetypes, the human blueprints. So I can fix you no matter where you are in the world from the comfort of your home at a fraction of the price of the live programs, anytime, anywhere, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This may sound a little bit crazy, but I have a mission. And my mission is to make a difference in your life. Okay, because you're sitting there and you've watched the videos, you've done the meditation, you've had the green smoothie, you've done all the stuff that you're supposed to, you've read the books, but something's still wrong. There's things that are going on, you can't quite figure out what they are. Inside of you, there's something holding you back. There's weights holding you down and dragging you under the water so you feel like you can't socially and emotionally breathe and you can't figure out why. Or maybe you even have sticking points that you're aware of and you're saying, I want to fix this. And you're banging your head against the wall every single day trying to fix it, and you can't. And you can't make that change. You're saying, my motivation, my ambition is there, but I can't make that progress forward. What's going on? Or you need that accountability, that personalized accountability, saying, hey, I know exactly what you're going through. This is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to move forward together. Or that personalized coaching where somebody says, I've been through it all. I've done it all. I've been in your shoes. I've experienced your pain, and I feel for your pain. And I want to guide you by the hand, step by step, and walk you out of it to better and brighter pastures. This is why I created this program, because you guys asked me for it. Every single day, I woke up to emails inboxes, Snapchats. Every single day I had people asking to work with me in person, asking for this personalized coaching and revolutionary teaching style. Every single day I did this for you. You try to like get in a taxi, grab food with her or whatever.
So should I back off?
No, you don't have to back off that much. But you want to be looking for a taxi, be like, hey, let's go grab some food, right back.
Moment to do a check-in. What are you thinking?
Well, obviously what you're saying at a logical point makes a lot of sense. It's all logical, but there's just that feeling right in my chest whenever I need to go off. It's an anxiety,
That's okay. So what I don't want you to do is push against it. I don't want you to push against the feeling. I want you to use the feeling. Use the feeling. Use the feeling. When you push against it, it grinds against you. I don't want you to do that. I want you instead to focus on using it, saying, I feel anxious. Walking to girls like, I'm feeling really anxious right now.
So what I'm telling him to do right here is embrace how he feels. That's what being authentic is, right? I'll give you an example. So let's say you have a girl that goes against your boundaries, your personal boundaries. She doesn't accept you. You have to tell her, hey, listen, that kind of upset me. You crossed a personal boundary. And she'll respect you for it. Not only that, but you gain self-respect for it. That's about boundaries. Now, when you have anxiety, anxiety comes because you have an idea of how you should be in your mind, okay? I call this comparison fatigue. It's a social mask you have. Comparing yourself to how you should be. I should be amazing. I should have had game by this right now. I should have been able to achieve this level. I should be better at opening. I should be in state right now. I should be in the flow. I'm 25. I shouldn't be a virgin. I should have had that girl call me back. My friends have girls. Why don't I? I should have. I should have. It should be working by now. I should have had this. I should be better dressed. I shouldn't live at home. Nobody likes me. Everybody hates me. Womp, womp, womp. And this comparison that you're doing over and over exhausts you. So rather than comparing yourself to how you should be, just be honest about how you are. Walk up to a girl, hey, I'm totally anxious right now, but I wanted to meet you anyways because I thought, shit, I haven't seen a girl like you in about 24 minutes. That would be honest. See, you guys laughed at that because it's honest. Your brain registers the authenticity. So it's honest. If you're feeling really sensual, be like, oh my gosh, I look at you and boy, oh boy, you do it for me. All right, that's honest. However you feel, whether it's great or bad, express it honestly. Now, if it's horrible, don't be like, hi, I want to blow my fucking brains out. I'm actually taking manic depressants because I'm suicidal. Don't be like that. I mean, you probably could make that work, in some way if you say it in a funny voice. But if that's how you feel, then kind of just exaggerate it over the top. Exaggerate it. Not by crying, but exaggerate the sensation of it. Surrender. Key word there. Surrender to the anxiety. Let me hear you guys say that. Surrender to the anxiety. Okay, write that shit down. Surrender to the anxiety. Don't resist the anxiety. Surrender to it. Don't resist it. It's very, very spiritual. Once you do that, you'll be okay. Pain comes from resisting what is. That's also, I think, in the Power of Now and a bunch of other spiritual books like the Bhagavad Gita, etc. Pain comes from resistance of what is. So you do not ever, ever, ever want to resist what is and pick up. Just accept how you are and move from there.
So you're really not in the zone. Go ahead and tell that. Walk this girl and tell you feel anxious. Not in the zone. Next girl we see, walk up and say, I feel anxious. This girl right here, sitting down. This girl right here, this girl right here.
Damn. Hey. Yeah. Here's what I've done, like a doctor or mad scientist, all right? I analyzed all of my students' blind spots. Not only that, I analyzed all of my students' sticking points. And I said, Where is the commonality? And it frustrated me over and over again. Like a mad scientist, I was trying to crack the code and discover the secret. And after thinking about the algorithm and comparing data points and doing graphs and charts and all this for a really long time, I discovered archetypes. Archetypes are the secret sauce to everything that you do. It's the behavior software running in the background of your mind that controls what you do, when you do it, what you say, and why. Once you understand what your archetype is, you don't have to be afraid anymore, because you know what your weaknesses are, but you also know how to succeed because of those weaknesses. Everybody in the history of time has had an archetype. People that were unsuccessful and poor, people that were financially free and successful. They all had archetypes, but the difference in the quality of their life was understanding themselves. So I took those archetypes and I started to work with them and with my students and understand how they changed my students. And I saw incredible results. I saw my students change, not even over the course of a 3-day program, but that same night. But I want to make an argument here, and bear with me. My argument is that you are a combination of your external environment and your influences. But that's not who you are. It's just how and where you grew up. So as a beginner, once you understand your archetype, you're freed from the shackles of your environment, and you're free from that jail cell of how people have treated you and what you think about yourself. As you become an intermediate guy, or you want to become an intermediate, I take that same archetype and I teach you how to express yourself. I teach you how to explode that energy from within and find your personal power that you can now use as a tool to crush anything in life that you want. And as you become advanced, it's just a whole nother ball game. The world becomes your oyster because you know how to use your archetype to just soar above the clouds and get everything that you want. That girl of your dreams, that promotion, that job, that friend, that network, that social life is now something that you can visually see and taste and feel at the tip of your fingertips. Right now, you have the opportunity to be part of a movement. Today is the first day. This movement will change the course of men and women relationships, because it's not about information, it's about understanding. Now, I love this community so much. It's been a part of my life for a decade, the 4 corners of the globe, and I want to integrate you into that community. I want to make you part of that tribe and part of that movement. I want you to be able to do the things that I've done and visit the places I've visited and have the friends that I've had, all that because of this community, and it means so much. Now, I also want to let you know that I've integrated this community into the program. An important part of learning success with women is being on a boot camp and doing the debrief. Typically when you go out right now, I can imagine that you're frustrated because you have a night and some things happen to you. You don't know what you're even feeling. You don't know what you're even thinking. And you go home and your mind's a scramble and you can't even sort out what happened. Imagine you had me there with you, sorting out your experiences that you just went through and making sense of the things that were not clear, and pointing out the lessons that were there, and pointing out successes that you had, and pointing out the learnings. That's what I want to do for you. In the Madison Bootcamp at Home, I'm offering live debriefs every single weekend that I'm running program. You can be a part of that debrief. I can be there for you to make sense of the chaos, make sense of the madness. This has never been done before. You're not talking to a screen, you're talking to a person, you're talking to me, and I'm gonna be there listening to your every desire. What's on your mind? What are you happy about? What do you not understand? Where are you right now? And I'm gonna be there for you to make sense of it all, because everybody deserves that. Everybody deserves that big brother. Everybody deserves that friend with the helping hand. Everybody deserves that role model, that father figure, that mentor that helps them through the darkness. I'm gonna make a strong statement here that I truly believe, and it's truly meant to impact you. This right here, the Madison Bootcamp at Home, is not about your experience in just game and pickup. It's about your legacy. Who do you want to be? Who do you choose to be? How are you going to live your life? Is more information going to solve it? Is wishing you were somebody else going to solve your challenges? No. Only you understanding yourself and rising into the occasion of who you can be can solve this. Take a moment. Go on a trip with me. Imagine yourself 40 years from now, 50 years from now, 60 years from now. You're in that rocking chair or you're in the bed at the hospital and your family and your loved ones are around you. Do they say, hey, here he is. He lived his life not knowing what he was doing. He lived his life out of control. He lived his life in response to his environment. He lived his life with demons and blind spots inside that he could not solve or see, but everybody around him knew were there. He lived his life constantly banging his head against the wall, trying to move forward, trying to get success that was just out of his fingertips, just out of his grasp, but slipped through his fingers like sand every single time he reached. Or do they say, here's a guy who was in control. Here's a guy that took the time to invest himself. Here's a guy that took the time to understand who he was, understand who he could be, and expand on that. You have a choice. Stay where you are and don't take action. And that's fine. You can do that if you want. People will always remember you in some way. But if you want to challenge yourself to step into the unknown, step into adventure, step into action, I want you to know you're not going to do it alone. I've thought about you. I've thought about this very moment. Me and you are not here by chance. You are not watching this video by accident. I am not invited into your mind by mistake. This is a designated moment in time with a purpose. And the door is here. Now, right now, you don't have to decide if you're going to step through it, but realize you've arrived at the door for a reason. Now, as I'm saying this, if there's a part of what I'm saying that resonates with you, if it makes sense to you, if it speaks to a part of you that has not been spoken to in quite a while, if I'm reaching you, if you hear me, what I want you to do is click the link down below. This is not an accident. You know what I'm saying is true. I know the truth of you. We're meeting here at this moment in time for a reason. Click the link down below. Get the Madison Boot Camp at home. Stop making sacrifices for yourself. You've sacrificed enough. The time is now. This right here, this moment, this minute, this second, this is the time. Not just the general time, but your time. This is your time to stop saying later. This is your time to stop making excuses. This is the time for you to stop making sacrifices. You deserve results. You deserve that success. You deserve feeling at peace with yourself. You deserve feeling at one with yourself. You deserve to not stagnate anymore. You also deserve to understand who you truly are. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be free. You deserve to live. Now we've talked about results, and now we've talked about winning and setting you up to win. Understand this, right here, right now, is your moment. It's your moment to be understood, because I understand you. We're gonna take the time again to look deep into the person that you are, that unique, special creature, human being, person. You're not like anybody else. And we're gonna take time to explore that. This is your chance right now to be appreciated by those around you. They want to connect with you. They want to understand you. They want to engage with you. And you've been holding yourself back. And this is the moment to finally break through and reach on to the other side. This is also the time right now to feel safe and comfortable and to know that moving forward in your life, you have a plan and a strategy. No longer be held back by invisible weights. This is your time to spread your mental and emotional wings and fly free. I want you to join me. I want you to join me on this path that I've discovered, this path that was there. It was dusty and covered over, and I've opened it up to you, and I've revealed it to you. I've made this specifically for you. I've made this to be your friend, to be your brother, to be there for you in your moment of need. What you're going to get inside is an avatar test, not like the free one that's online, but the full version, the full kitchen sink, as they say. I'm going to give you the extreme expansive test that gives you detailed answers into exactly which archetype you are. The online version gave you the top 2. This is going to give you the top 3. So you have a detailed understanding of what you need to do. There's also archetype-specific exercises and missions that I want you to go on. On your first and second night of the boot camp of this program, I'm gonna tell you exactly what to do to solve these challenges and find that happy balance in your personality and your behavior. Now, also, I'm gonna teach you bioenergetics. This has been something that's been popularized over the last year or two by Elliot Hulse, but I've taken it to a next level. You might know one exercise or two. I'm including 7 of these exercises in the program, designed to make you have a grounded core, designed to make you feel free and loose, designed to make you be able to express yourself, endure stressful situations, and so on and so on. And I'm gonna give you the specific bioenergetic exercises for your archetype. I'm also going to give you day game. A lot of guys believe they can just meet a lot of women at night. That's absolutely not true. We go out at night because there's a high volume of people. But wouldn't you want to meet a woman in the regular activities of your life, right? At work, at the gym, at school, at a coffee shop, at a reunion of friends. That's where you want to meet women. Not day game, not night game. I'm talking about life game. And after that, I'm also going to give you text, social media, and online. So you can follow up with these women that you're meeting. So you can learn how to take all these social platforms like Facebook, like Instagram, and make them work for you. Make them work to your advantage so they're automatically attracting women and keeping in touch with the women that you've lost in the past. So they're still interested in your day-to-day activities. As I promised before, I'm also going to give you live bootcamp debriefs. Let me say this again, live bootcamp debriefs. This has never, ever been done before in the history of any program anywhere. And what this means is that when I'm in New York, you get to come to boot camp in New York with me. When I'm in LA, you get to come in boot camp in LA with me. When I'm in China, you get to come in boot camp with me in China. In Japan, konnichiwa, you're there in boot camp with me. In Australia, all my mates are there in boot camp with me. I'm gonna have a digital live stream of every bootcamp debrief that I do around the world in real time, 24/7. You get to join that bootcamp and join the conversation and ask your questions and hear other students have the exact same sticking point, go through the solution process and understand their archetype. Imagine that, seeing your challenge broken down, not just from my point of view, but the point of view of other students who are also on bootcamp, experiencing that same point of view. How much faster could you learn if that were to be you? It's like having a board director for your challenge. They look at your challenges and they expand it from several different angles and take it apart. Not only that, but I am going to give you all my hot seat infield, okay? Now my hot seat has been phenomenally known around the world, world class really, and it's incredible infield. You've seen the international model polls from Fashion Week. You've seen the Olympic athletes. You have seen the doctors and the lawyers and the high quality, high status women in my infield, and you've wanted them to be a part of your life. Well, you're going to get a sample of that infield, an all new 2017 infield in this program as well, for you to enjoy in your home anytime you want for your viewing pleasure. And last but not least, I'm gonna give you 4 extreme bonuses that have never been given out anywhere before. These are incredible. I put my blood, sweat, heart, and tears in these bonuses, and they are gonna be worth more than you can imagine. As with all my programs, I'm going to offer you a 30-day money-back guarantee, and I'll tell you why. I want to treat you the same way that I would want a coach to treat me. That's with acceptance. That is with no risk. That is with giving me a chance to take an adventure. So I want to do that for you. I'm going to give you a 30-day money-back guarantee on this program. So it is an absolute no-brainer. Okay? It really is. So you can get this program, go through the whole program, And if in 29 days you're not satisfied with it for whatever reason, even though I know that you will be, you can return it back to me and we will still be friends and I will still say hello to you when I see you in the street or when you rate me on the internet, okay? That's what I want for you. Remember before when I asked you everything you sacrificed, I asked you to think about it for a moment? All the girls you gave up in your life, all the future women that were meant to be your dates or your girlfriends or your wife, all the opportunities in life that you passed by, all the nights of going out alone by yourself and walking home again alone by yourself, all those nights of frustration and crying yourself to sleep on the pillow. Remember all those nights you sacrificed, all that pleasure you've given to somebody else that was rightfully yours? I want you to use that as motivation. Use that as a reason to click the link down below and get the Madison Bootcamp at home. The time is now. The results are there for you waiting. Winning is just on the other side. In a moment here, I want to show you some success stories of clients that I had so you don't take my word for it, okay? These are guys that are just like you. They're cut from the same cloth and they were able to transform themselves pretty much in 24 hours to the man that they wanted to be. I helped them. I was just their coach and their mentor, but they're the real MVPs. And together we transformed from rock bottom all the way to rock star. They're the guys that went from chode all the way to the champ, and they deserve every bit of admiration that we give them, okay? And this can be you. I want this for you. When you see these guys, realize that you are the same as them and put yourself into their shoes and realize that this is waiting for you on the other end when you get the Madison Bootcamp at home. But as I said before, don't take my word for it. Watch this.
I approached a cute Asian girl and I was like high five. She was like really responsive and then she like asked me for my number. So I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like I never like experienced something like that, you know. Like I just gave you a high five and now you ask me for my number. That's like I usually have to work for that, you know. She's like meeting her friend and I will meet her at 6, 7.
Okay, Doug, here's a plan. Can I go with you?
Moments in the conversation where I was able to pull back and then still be high energy, but not at the same time. So it just kind of like really put it, we both got their numbers by the way, and like it just really put everything in like the right place.
Now you've seen some of the success stories that could be you, and you might be thinking to yourself, hey, I don't know if I have the time. Now let me ask you a real question. If you don't have the time, what are you gonna spend your time doing? Going out again and banging your head against the wall? Going on more dates that lead nowhere? Going on this vicious cycle where you're not getting results? Is that how you wanna really spend your time? Is that what you really wanna do? You might be thinking to yourself also, hey, financially, I don't know if I can afford this right now. How could you not afford this? That's the real question. How could you not afford repeating the same mistakes over and over again? How could you not afford shaving years off of your learning curve overnight, literally? How could you not afford to make this difference in your life? And you might say, hey, Madison, this sounds great, but I'm not really sure about you and me together, working together. I don't know if I resonate with you. Let me ask you, you've listened this far. Something has resonated with you this far. Something I said has connected with you and touched you on the inside. What I want to encourage you to do is take a moment, go back, watch those testimonials again, watch the success stories, see the clients, see how happy they are, see the innocence and appreciation in their eyes, see them be alive again for the first time. Go to YouTube, watch my infield. See the tons of videos that are out there for years and say, how could a guy become this world-class and efficient at what he does over and over and over again unless he was delivering results? So if you want those results, if this sounds like you, if this sounds like your future, if this sounds like it's right for you, click the link down below, get the Madison Bootcamp at home. Anytime, anywhere. It's time to stop messing around.
Dude, I fingered her in the alley, and the only reason I didn't fuck her is because I didn't bring a condom.
Finger bros? Bootcamp finger bros? You look like a man that just had sex.
Just fucked her in the bathroom.
I thought that's what just happened. Okay. Bye.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.
That was so cool.
First approach of the night. I'm here on fucking boot camp with you motherfuckers. I could be going home right now. Your brain is being hijacked and you don't even know it. You're constantly distracted and you're wondering why. Let me ask you a question. Do you feel like your whole life is stagnating? Maybe at work, you're not taking new responsibilities. Maybe you're not learning anymore, just not progressing. What's happening is you wish there was a woman at the center of your life. And every day you wake up and she's not there, it's kind of driving you insane because every time you see her on the street, in the mall, at school, at work, she just slips through your fingers like sand, and it's driving you absolutely mad because a little piece of your manhood is escaping and slipping away every single day. I'm not just some guy off of YouTube, okay, as they call a pretty face. I spent 10 years learning this stuff. There's nobody in the world right now that teaches pickup that's been a student as long as I have before teaching. I struggled for everything, blood, sweat, and tears every single night just to get one piece of information. And as of right now, let's just say I'm on the top. Go check the videos. It's not a question, it's a documented fact. In fact, some of these girls, I wish I could unblur their faces so you can see what they look like. So when guys come to me, they've seen the international models from Fashion Week. They've seen, the Olympic athletes. They've seen the doctors, the lawyers, and they decide they want a piece of high quality women in action in their life. They don't want to go back to how they've been, and they're scared to go for the future of how it could be. They're stuck in a limbo, a purgatory, if you will, and they want out. They want the new version of themselves, transitioning from rock bottom all the way to rock star. He says, you know what? I want that high quality, that high status woman for myself. And he's typically at a point in his life where he's just frustrated. He's not going to take it anymore. He doesn't want to go back to who he's been before in the past, and he's scared to reach for the possibilities of who he could be in the future, and it's driving him crazy, so he comes to me for a boot camp. That's a typical program where I take a guy out to bars, lounges, nightclubs, cafes in the city, and I show him everything that I know. I become his personal wingman and mentor. I tell him what to say, how to say it, what to do, and why. Most importantly, I also demonstrate for him, and I tweak him live in the moment all of his behaviors and interaction. I want to be the Vince Lombardi or fucking Phil Jackson of your dating life. I teach everybody from broke college students who live in their mama's basement all the way up to jet-setting CEOs who have threesomes on their boat on the weekend just for fun. Guys come to me virgins, shy, introverted, getting their first kiss, and I elevate them by the end of the weekend to social gods. They're just controlling the whole club and everybody's eating out the palm of their hand. It feels so fucking good. Now, I've analyzed thousands and thousands of students I've had over the years, taking all the best attributes and the best strengths, and I distilled that down to a street science that's guaranteed to get you results now. So what you're getting is my decade of experience. On top of that, 100 accumulative years of all the other RC instructors that have also trained me. I've literally cherry-picked the best of their programs and put it into mine. So you're standing on the shoulders of fucking giants, baby. You're gonna get an unfair sex life. I'm talking mind-blowing sex life. And I'm gonna become your 24/7 personal game mentor. Forget day game, forget night game. I'm talking about changing your whole world, baby. This is life game. When you do a boot camp, typically you gotta come to a city, so take time off of work and get a flight and get a hotel just to be with me. It costs you around $2,000 or so, and a one-on-one is actually $6,000. But this, my friend, is a fraction of the cost. This is an online version of that course you can do in the comfort of your home anytime you want. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch it over and over again. This is the Madison Boot Camp at Home. The personalized boot camp experience anytime, anywhere. The Madison Boot Camp at Home. It's time to stop fucking around.